Hello everybody, welcome back. So this is going to be a bit of an extra video just to kind of explain what tools I'm using, because I explained at the end of the last tutorial I did that I'm going to be changing programs, I'm going to be changing software when I do these videos in. So I figured that I should kind of explain what I'm doing just so that there's not a whole lot of confusion from here on out in the form tutorials. Plus, the last one of these videos I did was a while ago, and I understand that most people don't watch every single video in my art tutorial series. So, I might as well just kind of update everybody on what tools I'm using as well. So, this will just be for everything. So, I'm moving away from Paint Tool SI. I've moved into this program. As you can see up top there, it says Clip Studio Paint Pro. It is in the same family, if not the same program as Manga Studio as well. They were having a sale a while ago, so I just kind of picked it up. And after a long time of like sitting on it and just waiting for me to kind of want to bother relearning a new program, I finally sat down and redid all the settings into how I'm comfortable with, redid the entire format of the screen so I can work with this easier, all that jazz. I mean, going from one program to another is always really annoying, especially when you have a lot of little quirks that you're used to, so you have to reprogram yourself and reprogram the program to actually work for you. So, always fun, always fun. So, first things first, let's just go through the tools you're going to see me use. This is my generic pen tool that I had made just so that I'm comfortable with the pen tool that I'm using in here. I have a second one here as well, which is actually a more so of a pixel pen. Sorry, I have to zoom really far in for this. It's made to be for low resolution things. So you can see this one is just drawing with pixels. So that one is easier for pixel art and for really small icons and things like that, so they're not very blurry. Below that is the sketch tool, which is kind of like the blurry version of the pixel tool. It's for smaller things and just to sketch for, really. I mean, it's a sketch tool, nothing amazing. Here in the pen tool, I have two different pens that I've made. I have a sketch tool, which this one I'm not really zoomed in pretty far for, but this is just like the sketch tool that you saw me use before, so you know what I'm doing. That's nothing amazing. And then I have the oil paint, which as it sounds, it's just supposed to be for painting, for the occasional digital painting I do. I really like the way this flows. I'm probably going to do more digital paintings now. Aha, new programs mean new opportunities. So that's just a fun tool to use. Other things about this, I am a little bit annoyed as to how the layout works for the layers. Mostly I don't have, or at least I haven't been able to find a button to just erase everything on a layer. I have to physically delete the layer and make a new one. I'm still fairly new with the program, so if there is a feature for that, I'll probably end up finding it later. But so far, that's just been something that's peeved me a little bit. The other thing that I'm still having issues with, and I'm growing out of this one very slowly, I've noticed. So, just to kind of explain, when I'm doing a drawing, I like to rotate the drawing so I can like get better angles on it because, you know, your hand works in a specific way. And so I have to rotate the canvas in order to do that properly. But here, the best way to do that is like through this. I have to, not even that, I have to go up to here and have the rotate tool and then rotate. But the rotate tool is on a certain button. So I had to move the button over to C in particular. Just so people are following along where I keep the buttons. So I had to move that over to C so I can rotate easier without moving my hand. But I would have to swap back to my tool after every single time. Since I use so many different pens, it's very difficult to have like a line of buttons and not have to move my hand around a lot for selecting different tools that I need to use. So I have it set so that I hold down the button and I can rotate, and when I let go, it goes back to what I was using. So that way I can manually select the pen that I'm going to be using for a while and then only have to hold down this button for like a split second to move it around. The issue is that this button, C, is right next to X, and X is to swap my color. Since, you know, swapping color is very useful, especially when you're kind of going back and redoing the line work just slightly to kind of redarken lines or reform that stuff, and then you go back to your color to continue working on the color. But the thing is that you tap X to swap colors, you don't tap C, because if you tap C, it locks to this tool. Now I can set this to be a much smaller timer, but eventually it'll get such a small timer that even X will, and my other tools will just temporarily change, no matter how fast I seem to press them. So I have to just train myself to not to remember which buttons are which, just so that this doesn't happen so much. But that's something that I'm going to be training myself out of, and not anyone. And like, you'll stop noticing that after a while, but for a couple of speed arts, maybe you'll just see me wiggling the screen randomly for no good reason. Good humor, good humor. So that's on the software end of things. There's no issue with Psy as well. It was just I felt the need to move away from a program I've been using for a long time, because I saw a lot of opportunities for a program like this, and I've been looking for a while. So, oh well, nothing new, nothing crazy. Anybody who's still using Psy out there, a lot of the same tools will still be the same, and a lot of the same ideas will be the same. And same goes for any program out there. This is just I'm explaining what I'm personally using, so that there's less confusion when it comes to what I'm doing and how you can translate into your own style with your own programs. So one last note I should make is that I mentioned earlier I'm using a pen and tablet. I'm using a Wacom 13 HD Cintiq. Pretty much it's just like a second monitor that I draw on for doing all my stuff, and I just kind of keep it on my desk for all this jazz. So if you ever question what that noise is when I'm drawing, it's actually me physically drawing on my screen. And I'm someone who likes to draw a much more 1-to-1 ratio, so obviously I needed to have a screen tablet so I can do all this on. But the rest should pretty much stay the same. You shouldn't notice any real differences other than just like how much room there is to work with, and some slight differences with, like, I don't know, the way the pen looks. But in the end, the tutorials are not going to change. The tutorials are going to stay the same. It's still going to be the same old person describing the same old stuff. So this is just a quick little extra video that I made this week. Later on today I should have the proper tutorial up. Thank you all for watching. Have a wonderful day.